Hi guys, it's Poober here for episode 12. If you would like to see how this becomes this, then just keep watching. Well, as you guys can tell, I spent the first part of the episode laying down thousands and thousands of yellow belts that now make up our new main bus that we have here in our octagon. It extends from west to east and took quite a long time to place, but we also have a nice walkway now in the middle as well, along with some lights to make it a little bit easier for us to commute back and forth between our octagon base and our starter base over here. You might also notice that I did a little bit of train track work as well, and I ripped up our previous roundabout that we had in this section over here and replaced it with some train stations that are going to be dropping off some of our products, as well as tons of train stackers that you can see here that kind of fit nicely along the diagonal edge here. So we have our main products that will be delivered in these train stations. This one will be our stone brick and our stone. This one here will be for our coal. This one here is our steel. This one here for copper. And then finally we have this one here for our iron plate. The reason why I laid it out this way was by order of importance / order of most used item. So the stone and the stone brick will be less of a priority, so I have less room to fit trains going on here because I will probably require less trains for that. Eventually, moving down along the line, we can fit potentially more trains even beyond the stacker by fitting them along this track here, and so on and so on, with lastly a couple trains can go on this line, but only the one train can fit on these two lines. The coal will be going underneath this main bus here and then going up to the top portion of the bus, but the other products you can see in these filter inserters that I have to represent what items are going on the bus line. So we have the iron plate to the top two, copper plate in the middle, steel, and then our stone, and then to the top portion of the bus are the products that, apart from the coal, will be made from the bus. So these are things like the batteries, plastic, red and green circuits, and then the explosives and the sulfur, which are things that we all got ready to go for the most part from our previous factory that we made in last episode. So hopefully this bus will work out fairly well. We can edit it as we need to as we progress along in the game. We can add a couple more belts, take some out, redivvy them up as needed. Oh, the other thing I'll add, let me fix this wall though real quick, is that I did add an extra track line. This one is going to be for my own personal train. I have it colored pink just so I can have an extra eye on it and know that this one is my train in particular. I'm going to be starting to add in a couple different train stops eventually that we'll need to go to, but we have kind of the main ones to start with. This is the one we're at now, the personal bus drop-off, and then we'll add more as we go along. But this will help me to get to and fro in different parts of our very large base now. So we will get out of the train for now. We don't have coal over here yet, so we're going to be grabbing some wood that we have over here. And we unfortunately don't have a whole lot. I thought I had a lot more, but I guess it's been used up. So what I might do is just farm a couple more trees actually. And there has been nothing but trees around here, and now the minute I need some, they are all spread out. But I'm just going to farm a couple more trees so I don't have to go back to the main base to get some coal at this point. And then we'll just try and divvy these up, and then the trains will make it to the mini base that we started at and fill up on the coal there. So we just need enough to get us by for basically one train stop. Okay, that should be enough to get us going. I think I'm going to start by putting fuel into the iron and the copper trains first. These are probably the order of most importance for what I want delivered onto our main bus to start with. And if I didn't mention it at the beginning of the episode, we do have our train station that I modified over here at our starter base. That it was originally our barreling section, but I replaced that now so that we have delivery of our iron plate and our copper plate. And I didn't have a whole lot of room, so we're having to do one half of our train station for the iron plate and the other half for the copper plate. And I made sure that we're not going to have any mix-up of the products onto our train cargo wagons by using the middle click button to divvy up what products will be going into the wagons themselves. So there won't be a mix-up of copper, for instance, going into the iron plate wagon. So let's put the wood in these guys. There we go. And let's put in where we want it to go. And we want it to go to mini base until inventory is full, or inactivity of 5 seconds. And we'll send that on its way. And before I put the conditions on our copper train, I just want to make sure that it gets there okay, because this is its first voyage. And it should end up over here. And it looks like it will. Oh, that's a problem. I'm going to have to fix this so that we can accommodate the 1-to-1 train that I have just for delivery of items onto our main bus. When we get to doing train stations for pickup of ore and into our smelters and things like that, we'll probably use a 2-for-2 train setup. In the meantime, let's finish putting in the conditions for the copper. We also want to go to the mini base here when inventory is full, and again with inactivity. And I don't have a stacker for our trains over at the mini base, but that is okay because we have so few trains in the network at this point that it's not a big deal. It won't back up. But we'll head over there and we will fix the train stop issue. And then I'll be back once we have products getting ready to go for our main bus. So I fixed the train station to accommodate our 1-to-1 train, and any minute now it should be taking off to deliver our products of iron plate back to our main bus. It is still empty. This will be the first stop, but it will be stopping here, and hopefully it'll work with our train unloading system. Now the unloading system that I'm going to be using is this one here. I've never used it before, but it is a design by Schnitzkillauber. Hopefully I didn't slaughter your name too badly, but it looks like it's working. It's supposed to have some smarts on it to help it unload more evenly and distribute the products evenly onto the bus. It looks like it is. It's getting evenly dispersed there between the two lanes. Let's get out of map view though. And don't worry guys, eventually these inserters will all be upgraded to either the fast inserters and then eventually the stack inserters as well. And there we go. It's getting onto both lanes there. I have the lanes branch off here just for symmetry and aesthetic purposes, just so the entire thing looks full. But there is technically no need to have it split off into 4 lanes. But it looks like it will be getting to where it needs to go. It's got a long ways to go, and there are going to be several train loads most likely to fully saturate the main bus. But let's take a look at the oil factory that we have. We're going to have to hook this into the main bus. So once we get the copper plate going on the main bus, we'll go ahead and hook it into the oil factory here. Here's our copper plate train that just arrived, and it's just now going to be dispensing products onto our main bus line as well. But take a look at our iron plate. It is already full on this end of things, and then now beginning to saturate on the other half of the main belt line here. So it should be mostly just going to the right hand side now since the left is full. Oh, and that's not good. I will have to look at that in just a second here. But before I go address that, I do want to just kind of take a look and enjoy this part. It's one of my favorite parts of the game, is just watching some of the belts just fill up and saturate with my hard work finally paying off. And here is the first load of coal that just came in as well that will now get unloaded onto our main bus here. This will be going to the top portion of the bus, and this will be feeding and mainly used in our new oil factory that we have in the middle. But with these 3 main products on the bus now, that should be enough to really get our fuel factory started. And that means we can now have a steady supply of plastic coming in, as well as the products we need to make our batteries. We still don't have the water yet or the advanced oil processing yet to make the batteries, so we'll primarily focus on just getting the stuff started for our plastic at this point. For that, we're going to need to feed it into this line here, and then for the explosives, we'll need coal on this line as well. Let me double check. So here's the coal coming slowly down the line here, so we'll make sure that we feed it from here. And what we could do, looks like I need to make a couple splitters, is feed it like that, where we have it kind of loop around and then work its way up. I guess we'll just do a couple underground belts for the rest of the line here. Not a big deal. And it's coming just in time. There we go. So it's going to continue on its way, and it will end right here to feed our plastic chemical plants. And now we have to worry about this line here for our explosives. Now this will be a little bit trickier because we do have to make sure that it is on the correct side of the belt. Same with this line here for the sulfur. I believe we need the coal on the right hand side for this one, but we'll have it split off just like we did on this side here. We can do like that, or is that too... Oh, that was right. Okay. Then we need our underground belt. And I only want it on the right-hand side. Oh no, we're out of coal. Let's see, so if I do something like this, does that mean... Oh, that will go on the left-hand side, unfortunately. Oh, man, and I'm getting more attacks. Ever since we kind of turned the train stations on, I've been getting biters like crazy to the upper iron farming train station that I have over here to the top. So it looks like I'll have to take care of those guys off camera or in a couple episodes or so, but in the meantime, I would like to finish this before we call it an episode here. What we can do to change up the coal so it is on the correct side is to wrap it around like this, although I think it's a lot uglier this way. But what are you going to do? And we still need a couple more underground belts for the rest of the way. There we go. Unfortunately, that is quite ugly. I'll think of a better way to redo that sometime. Once I can actually visualize the products on the belt, I can play with it a little bit better than just theorizing where the products are going. But we'll do the same thing over here for now. This time around, though, we do need the coal on the left-hand side, so that will make it a little bit easier. We'll do like that, and like that. And there we go, we just finished it up with some undergrounds. Alright, I'm pretty sure that will work. That will force the coal just on the left-hand side here, and then the sulfur can go on the opposite side of the belt and feed into these chemical plants here. Let's see, so how far down did our coal get? Oh, there we go. Not very far, unfortunately. So hopefully it makes a couple more trips. What is going on here? Oh, I see. That is why we have so little coal on the belt. Looks like I need to add in a splitter here. I will go ahead and do that here real quick. So I just added in the splitter over here to help divvy up the coal a little bit better, and as you can see, it's now getting dispersed onto the right-hand side of the belt line, which is perfect. So it's just now making its way down to our fuel factory over here. And what that means is now we'll have a steady supply of all of the products we need to really focus on plastic and red circuits for next episode. So we'll end up calling this episode here. Thanks for joining me for episode 12, and I hope you'll stick around for episode 13 when we get to play with plastic a little bit more.